Are you overwhelmed? I bet if you arrived at this presentation, you might have felt a hint of it every once in a while in your life. If you're here, I probably don't have to tell you that there is a state of perpetual overwhelm that's becoming very common in our workplaces today. And in fact, it could even be considered the new normal. So, do you want to learn how to conquer overwhelm in 4 easy steps? And yes, I did say easy. That is easy if you choose to do the steps exactly. So, in the next few minutes, we're going to learn 4 simple steps on how to do just that. But before I start, please know, my goal is not to overwhelm you. In fact, we're going to keep it simple. These steps are easy to implement if you choose to use them. Before we get started, though, we've got to define what exactly overwhelm is. So let's ask the question, what is overwhelm? Well, overwhelm is an emotional and chemical response triggered in the brain when it gets a signal that too much is going on for you to reasonably process, and that signal threatens the desire and possibility of getting things done in the way that you think you should, or in the way that you expect that you should and want to. So, is it safe to say then that maybe being overwhelmed is all in our heads, all in our minds? Well, yeah. Let's start there then. In fact, to conquer overwhelm, we're going to use this mantra. It's an inside job. Remember, overwhelm is a reaction. It's a state that can be diffused. And because of that, it can be controlled. And that's the great news. All right, let's move on to the 4 steps of how to conquer overwhelm. Step 1. Step 1 in conquering overwhelm is to do this. Practice stopping. Practice stopping. Sounds kind of weird, but that's exactly what you want to do. You want to practice stopping. In fact, the minute you start to feel overwhelmed, immediately stop what you're doing. That's right. The minute you start to feel overwhelmed, immediately stop what you're doing. And when you stop, you're going to say this word, disconnect. So immediately stop what you're doing, and then you're going to say the word disconnect. That's step 1. Step 2 is then you're going to close your eyes and take 3 long, deep breaths. You're going to breathe in and you're going to breathe out. You're going to breathe in and you're going to breathe out. Close your eyes and take 3 long, deep breaths. Then you're going to move on to step 3. And that is, you're going to visualize something very pleasurable for at least 1 minute. Again, visualize something very pleasurable for at least 1 minute. And as you're visualizing, you want to engage every single one of your senses. Hearing, tasting, smelling, feeling, what you see in your mind's eye, those 5 sensory feelings, 5 sensory experiences that are part of intense visualization. And then step 4, you're going to turn on some music that builds and enhances the pleasure factor. The music will help to solidify changing the chemistry in your brain and create more of that intense visual and kinesthetic experience. It will move you to a state of calm. What will be your result? You'll notice a very calming effect, which is a signal that the chemistry in your brain is changing, going from toxic too pleasurable. The key to the success of this process is you must do it every single time you begin to feel overwhelmed. Again, you must do it every single time you start to feel overwhelmed. And why is that? Well, doing it every single time creates a new habit response in your brain that replaces the old one. In fact, it maps a new neural pathway, a new neural response in your brain. And all of those 4 steps will create the habit and empower you with simple actions to change your reaction to the stimulus that would otherwise put you in a state of overwhelm. Please practice these 4 simple steps. And to enhance your practice of these 4 simple steps, I invite you to get the book, Organizational Strategies for the Overwhelm. How to manage your time, space, and priorities to work smart, get results, and be happy. You can find it on Amazon, both in audio, Kindle, iTunes, and on my website, JoAnnCorley.com. And as a reminder, Organizational Strategies for the Overwhelm is also a seminar that can be brought to your organization. Every organization needs a How to Get Organized and Time Management workshop to increase their productivity and their company's profits. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to contact me at JoAnnCorley.com. To your health and happiness.